Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to our online event on Define in Code. I'm Karin, the event manager, and we're really excited to have you here to dive into Steep Code and how you can get it set up in your workspace and to answer all of your questions. And here's what we've got on the agenda today. We're going to start off with a brief intro to Steep in general and what it is. We're going to do an overview of Steep as code, how we built it, how it works, and what you're able to define. Then we're doing a hands-on walkthrough from our senior engineer, Oscar, and we'll learn how to build out a semantic layer in code with the help of AI, and you'll get to see it live. And by the end of the day, you should walk away knowing how to use code to build out your semantic layer and how AI can help you to do it even faster. Our two hosts today are Johan Baltzar, our co-founder and CEO, and Oscar Albrecht, our senior software engineer. And Oscar was actually the lead engineer who built out this functionality, so we're excited to have him walk you through it. And with that, I'm going to hand over to Johan to give an intro to Steep.
Great, thank you, Karin. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. And yes, we'll start off today's session. It'll be focused on kind of hands-on walkthrough from the great Oscar. And let me start with just a brief intro to Steep, semantic layer, and semantic model. So yes, Steep is an AI analytics platform for modern companies. With Steep, you are empowering all business users to do analysis and reporting using AI-powered workflows. For us on the data side, that means instead of having to answer questions all day, you can instead get users to do that all on their own, which is amazing. The way of working is, of course, you have a semantic layer in the center with a semantic model, and that powers all reporting, analysis, and AI functionality. And the big trend we're seeing right now for teams using Steep is to go code first for your semantic model. And what does that mean? Why is it a good idea? Well, that's what this session is all about, and Oscar will guide us through all of that. Let me start off by saying that in general, this is a very powerful way of working if you're coming from more traditional BI, as you're defining things once and you support all use cases from one single source. It's also the key to making AI work. So agents need a stable source of truth, and in general, you don't want agents to be kind of rethinking SQL for every question. It's also great for humans. Like, you're building ownership and data culture by having one metrics catalog. And maybe you've heard about semantic layers before, you have some experience of that. I will just say quickly, compared to other options, the Steep semantic layer has a rich set of components, all in order to support all kinds of business analytics. And it's built to be really fast and scalable to a large number of users. Okay, with that, Oscar, I'll hand it over to you, and let's get into it.
Great. Hello, everyone. I'm Oscar. I'm one of the senior engineers here at Steep, and I have been involved with this project since day one. And the first thing that came to us was this need to define things in code. But why do people want to do that? Many people work in code daily, so they want to keep that mental model flowing. They don't want interruptions. And that's great, that works. But code also brings some characteristics that the UI cannot provide. With code and a code repository, a little bit more specifically, your code history is easily auditable. So you know when a change happened, you know why it happened and who did it. You can undo it. And you can also add your process on top of that change. So maybe you want peer review, maybe you want some quality checks, some semantic checks. You can own it and you can customize it in a much more powerful way than you can do with the UI. If you are also running multiple workspaces that are somehow similar, you can use code to write once and deploy everywhere. And of course, in the AI era, AI-supported development is mainly done in code. So code will allow all of these different characteristics, and you can leverage them to be even more efficient in your daily work. At Steep, we have some design principles, and of course, we are applying them to this functionality and to code. If you are working with data, if you are in a data team, you are a data analyst, or if you have worked with some other semantic layer, Steep as code will look very familiar to you. You will understand the concepts that we are communicating. You are understanding why things are done, because it was built to have a very low entrance barrier. It's going to be easy to understand, and it's going to be easy to use, because we have applied a lot of effort in removing repetition, in removing boilerplate. It is meant to be lightweight on you, and it should simply work. This is not a feature to be on top of your head. You should set up, and it should work continuously. You should leverage it continuously, but your mind and your energy should be focused on your tasks that generate value for your company. So it will be transparent as possible, but it will be efficient, and it will deliver a lot of value to you in your daily operations. Great. And what can you define? So it's easy to use, it's powerful. What can you do? You can build the whole Steep semantic layer, which is creating modules. We are going to see those in detail. So it's modules, metrics, entities, dimensions, join paths, targets, and access policies. And I think this is the end of our intro. We can get to the fun part, which is the hands-on. So let me show what we have prepared for you. Great. I have prepared a workspace for us. Let me get this out of our way. I have prepared a workspace for us, and this is what you are going to see when you register to Steep and you are ready to use it. I have set up, just for you to understand where we are, we have a data source. So we have a BigQuery full of demo data. Don't worry about it. There is no data leakage here. This is data that I have created for demos like this one. I have connected our GitHub. This is everything we have to do. It took me maybe 20 seconds to set this up. Our workspace is empty. We have no metrics, no entities, no reports. The only thing we already have available is that Steep is going to check your data source and is going to show whatever you have available. In this case, the tables. Other than that, it's empty. So let's do what people do first when they when they start their workspace. They create a new metric, right? So let's create one. We are going to pick a run. So let's make a sum on the data that we have on the ad spend table, and we are going to sum the amount. The time dimension will be the created ad. So this is basically the expenditure on ads that we are having in the company. Again, dummy data, don't worry about it. Ad spend, I will just add sum here just for demo purposes. Great. So my metrics is ready. You can, of course, edit, because as always do, I forgot to add some breakdowns to help our users. Our metric is ready. So any business user who wants can already check it and explore a little bit how we are doing in different countries or different currencies. Blazing fast, of course, has to be right. It needs to keep up to your thinking. So this is, we can see everything is already set up. Very fast, but this is how people do things in the UI. And we want, and this is how a lot of people are doing, but we want to talk about code. I have this workspace, it's very small. how do I transform it into a code workspace? If you go to modules, you select your module, there will be this code section here. And here, Steep will give you everything that you need to transform that specific module in a code module. Let me copy that. And I will open my, my code editor. Again, it's empty because we are starting things from scratch. So let me add a file. I will call it add spend, the name I'm choosing. I like to do that this way because it helps me. I think it's kind of organized. I'm pasting whatever Steep gave me. Don't worry about the format yet. We're going to take a deep dive into it. Let's just understand the flow. So we created that metric in the UI. We copied the code. We are going to add to our Git repo and add spend. And then we're going to push. Great. It's pushing. Very easy. Git is a standard. If we check here, Steep is going to track the branch that you configured. So I configured main. The moment I published, the moment I pushed a change to main, Steep identified that and reacted to it. What did it do? It noticed there was a module. It updated the module because we created here in the UI, and well, it's here. Because we had copied something that already exists, we don't see big changes, right? If you remember that I had edited the metric, I cannot do that anymore. Now it's defined in code and all the changes should be done in code. So if I click here, I would be redirected to GitHub, to the code, but I will not be able to change it. And the modules are also marked as defined in code. But that's basically it. That's too simple, right? That's not that fun. Let's go back. Let's do something a little bit different. And let's add a new metric. I don't want average, I want the count. So I want a metric which is a count for the same table. Yeah. And I don't want I just want broken down by country. So let's spend count. Great. Now I'm pushing this change, right? So it was so fast I couldn't show you. So it's already here. I'm very proud of it. I have to be honest with you. But you can see here that Steep, again, noticed our change. It created the metric, and the metric is here for you to use. The data is a flat line. Yeah, the data is not relevant at this moment. But so yeah.
And Oscar, you're getting the details as well, right? Of the changes that were made in each sync.
Yeah, exactly. So our details are a little bit sparse this time because we just created that metric, but we might have more details. So in the first one, we updated the module and some dimensions, and we updated an existing metric, and now we created a new one. So as you are pointing to, it's easy to know what's happening, right? And so we now created manually a metric. Very easy, took us a few seconds, but I don't want to do that. I mean, you saw that, I have three or four tables. That's not the way I intend to continue with that. And you will be bored to death if I do it. So let me show you this, which I think is pretty good. I'm going to open my agent and I'm going to fire my agent. It's going to take a while. So I will show you a few things. One, what are we doing? I have consciously disabled Steep MCP. Steep offers an MCP It's not a topic of this online event. We will talk on a future one. So I disabled it. But I'm telling my agent that I'm creating a Steep workspace for this specific data source. I'm telling it that the AdSpend module already exists because we created together manually and moved it to code. But now I need it to create a module for customers and for transactions. I want it to create metrics, entities, dimensions, join paths, everything I need. When it's done, I want it to commit, but it should not push. And because I don't want to cheat on anyone here, I do have a lot of insider knowledge inside my computer because I'm developing this feature. So I am asking it to not use anything that it finds in my computer. It should refer to the official documentation because we are trying to simulate what you will be doing from now on. And therefore you and your agent will have access to the Steep documentation, and it will provide everything you need to know. So let's also talk a little bit about the YAML file that we have. I promised you I promised you that it was going to be easy to understand and easy to use, and I believe I can prove it to you right now. So we are creating a module. Therefore, we start with the word module. And it's the AdSpend module, so that it is the identifier that I chose. And it points to a table. So schema and table are also defined. Other than that, modules have dimensions. So we are going to define the column that dimensions refers to, the type of dimensions. We do have multiple types, and a label, so it's user-friendly to use in your daily or for your business users to use. We are going to define 2 of them. And we are also going to define 2 metrics. Metrics have identifiers, name, a time column, a type. Some of them have value, and then the dimensions. And this is all it takes to create a module with 2 dimensions and 2 metrics. The documentation will have even more options for you, even more alternatives for you to tailor the metric to your needs exactly. Of course, all types of metrics are supported, derived metrics, counts, and everything. You can find all the details in the documentation. Let's see how. So our agent is still working. Let me show you one last thing. You're here in defining code online event, and it might feel sometimes that we are saying, oh, defining code is much better than the UI. And that's not true. Some teams will prefer the UI, some teams will prefer code. But at Steep, we do believe that there is a place also for both, because code can give or will give you this rock solid foundation, while UI can give you this organic exploration. An option for you is use both, and the elements will be able to interact normally. So we could, for instance, create a new metric that is a derived ratio that builds on top of our code defined. So we are creating a UI defined metric that references 2 code defined metrics, and that is okay. Steep accepts it. You can have it there for as long as you want. You can refine it. You can sync your code as many times as you need. Your metric will be here, will continue to be supported. And if this is the way you want to continue working, you can then take that metric definition, copying its code the way we did before, and move it to code when it's stable enough. that is one way we see people working. We also see, and we are, of course, we support fully the teams that go 100% UI or 100% code. But I think this is one added value that it's interesting to know about.
Yeah, I think from my perspective, Oscar, I see some of the companies that we work with, they want to have, when they're going to code, they want to have our like company key metrics, like the kind of the solid foundation to be all in code, which makes a lot of sense, right? But then there might be other use cases, other teams that are more experimental. You want to give more freedom to people that are perhaps less familiar to work in code. So then you have that option of just like, well, you can work over here on this data and define metrics to like faster iterations on new metrics. And then once maybe they are more mature, you can then just migrate them over to code as well.
Yeah, exactly. We are here to offer everyone alternatives, right? And they should then follow their path towards having a very efficient and stable semantic layer. So 100%. And if this is a way to support people making the transition from UI to code, amazing. We are very happy that it helped. Let's see how our agent is doing. So it says it has done its thing. Let's take a look. So it created a customers module pointing to the table. We are not going to go through details, but you can see dimensions we have seen already. Join path, so it's connecting the customers module with the transactions. It has one single metric for registration, and it created one entity. You will see, and this is on purpose, that we have repeating patterns that will make it easier for you to learn how to define things in code. So we have the customers, we have the transactions, which is a little bit bigger, more dimensions, more metrics, entities. So great. What do we have here? So it committed. I will just push it. I have tried this, it's syncing. So I will tell you that I have tried this this online event multiple times. A little bit of rehearsal is always healthy. And 9 out of 10 times, yeah, that's good because that's an example. 9 out of 10 times we get a green sync on the first try, but LLMs are probabilistic. They will make changes. So you can see that it made the agent has done something that Steep doesn't really like. So what we can do now is just copy this.
So it missed adding an identifier, right? To some parts. Yeah.
Exactly. So there is a slice with no identifier. So Steep is handling it. So one will be generated from its name. So Steep is handling it. Let's take a look at transaction volume. So we do have slices here. It's working. We are just telling you, hey, that is not 100%. Just to be on the safe side, do it. It's a warning. It's not an error. So let's see. So our agent made some changes. It added the identifier.
And there you just like pasted the warning message right into the agent prompt, right?
Exactly. So I copied, I pasted it, and added nothing else. And the agent then is able, with the information that it has on its own and in the documentation, it is able to run to fix. And you can see it's already fixed.
Nice.
Great. So easy. And we have now a bunch of metrics. We have, of course, entities. Let me see. This is active customers. So are these linked? So we have, yeah. So even this cool feature We have links between metrics and entities. So if I want to see how which customers registered on this day, everything was done, and it was done by the agent. I didn't tell it to do it. So you can get so fast and so up to speed with these agents and with CPS code and the documentation that we have prepared for it. I mean, it's mind-blowing, to be honest. It's mind-blowing.
And just to totally agree, I mean, and this is like a very scalable way of working, right? It scales to a large semantic model, when you have hundreds and hundreds of tables and your metrics catalog grows, being able to manage all of that and keep it consistent and well documented. I think, using agents to help you do that is a game changer for sure. Oscar, just one thing there as well, just to explain what we were seeing there. So you were exploring a metric, and then you clicked into customer there, which is an entity, right? And if you use Steep a bit, then probably know that entities are the row level views, right? So you might have customers or invoices or products or whatever your business cares a lot about, and then you set up these entities, these row level views. And then by connecting metrics to entities, you're able to allow users to drill down into all the details, right? Into any of those connected entities. So you can say, for instance, if you're looking at, sales, you can see like which customers actually made those sales and how much. And that is available to, anywhere in the product.
Yeah, that's a super cool feature. I use it a lot. And there's one, because we have been talking about agents for a while now, and we have talked about how do I use agents to create my semantic layer. But we can come from the other side now, because now we have a semantic layer and it's available. And of course, our business users can come in and they can explore it manually, but they can also talk to the agent and leverage AI from this perspective now. When was active customers higher? So, of course, I can ask the agent something. It's going to look for the metrics. July is the answer. So it is very easy to deal. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, it's finding our metric, it's querying it, and it's going to tell us July. So it's very easy to interact with it. Our agent is misbehaving a little bit. Yeah, July, right. So, but we can go a step further and say, create a report about it. Don't ask. It has some review steps that I'm skipping, but I'm telling it, just give me a report. Don't ask me if I'm happy with it, do it. And then in a few seconds, we will have a report, and it will leverage the semantic layer we have just created to bring home the point about mixing, if that's the way we want to work, of course, mixing code and UI metrics. We do have active customers comparison. We can see the monthly trend and a lot of cool things, but I could also then manually add things. And I could, of course, add my UI defined metric here. So all the elements interact with each other without any completely ignoring whether they are defining code or defining UI. They have feature parity. That means whatever you can do in one, you can do in the other one. And they can work together to give you the biggest value. And I think, Johan, if you don't have anything else, any comment, I would invite us to move to the Q&A.
We can do that. Yeah, I just want to add that I think another really cool use case with the Steep AI is kind of the introspection that's available. So you can like ask it like about which metrics and how they're defined and which tables they're using or which reports do we have and what metrics do they contain. So there's this powerful ability, just as you're managing your semantic model agents, you can also then like manage and work with your metrics catalog, all your content with agents. So it's yeah, I mean, compared to how we worked before, it's super powerful.
That's the spoiler for the next online event, I guess.
More on that. But good. Yes, I think thank you so much, Oscar, for that nice overview. And we're, like I said, I think we're seeing, almost most of our customers, like if they started with UI before, I think now everyone, like almost everyone is kind of going to more of a code first way of working to be able to kind of scale up, to be able to use more agents. And I think that does make a ton of sense. All right. Yes, let's jump to some Q&A and open up for some questions.
Yes, we've gotten in some questions. First one is, can I have a customer repo in Git with the dbt core folder and structure under that, but also the Steep folder and semantic metrics in code under that, so that there is a customer as a repo. Inside repo is two folders, one for dbt and the other for Steep.
This is a very specific organization question. If I understood the organization correctly, yes. You can, Steep does its best to identify its own files and distinguish from others. We can get into the details maybe outside the event on what we use, but it is meant to be stored alongside other files from maybe other semantic layers. So we do support that.
Yeah, I'm hearing from teams that sometimes some teams prefer to have like separate repositories for, say, your DBT project and your semantic model, and some prefer to have it in one repo in different folders. And I can see a case for both. I think what's really cool about having it in one repo is that you're able to have an agent that makes changes all the way from your source data all the way to your semantic model and metrics. So you could be like adding new data, you could model it, create new facts and dimension tables, and then in one go set up the module, the semantic model and metrics for that new data. So I think that's a really cool and powerful way of working.
Okay. Next question. Does the semantic layer support the open semantic interchange? What's the process like for migrating a semantic layer in or out of Steep?
Yeah, I think in general, yes, we support OSI, and that's kind of like our promise that we will make it easy for you to translate out of Steep. If you ever want to, if you do invest in Steep and you have your metrics there, you should always be able to get it out and into another useful format. And we also want to make it easier for you to kind of like migrate if you're using, LookML or other semantic layers. It's typically very easy to get it into Steep. OSI specifically, we're kind of still waiting for an official spec before we make that translation generally available. But if you're interested, then just talk to us and we'll help you out.
Okay. Next question. So for UI users, can they make derived metrics off of my coded metrics, but in the UI? So non-coders can still make things of governed work.
So yeah, at the moment, the users will be able to work on your on top of what you are delivering. And this is how we at the time see it working. We are gathering feedback on this, but at the moment, users can build on top of your code elements.
Yeah, and all of this is of course controllable by you, right? So you need like to be an admin in the Steep workspace to be able to add metrics and so on. So it's we try to make it up to you to kind of decide who can do what.
Yeah, exactly. So this, I started with that assumption without making it clear. We trust admins to make the wise decisions, and we don't think you grant admins rights for everyone. So we believe that if you don't want things made in the UI, admins will comply to it because they are a smaller subset. It's probably your team. So we shouldn't read this question as everyone in my 300 people company can make changes. It's more my team where I collaborate probably daily that will have this power from the get-go.
Okay, I have one more question. What are the best practices for handling multiple people editing the semantic layer in code?
What do you say, Oscar?
This is a great question, and it has so many answers. I will try to give a brief overview. Git is mainly built for that, so you can leverage pull requests and code reviews and merge and all these instruments that it already offers you. And we are also seeing customers having staging workspaces where they can deploy the code they want to push to, let's say, production, verify that everything works as they expect, and then promote it. This is easily done with Git branches because every workspace tracks one specific branch. So it's very flexible, but we are seeing these two solutions relying on Git and then having a pre-production workspace as your last verification before publishing.
Okay. Thank you. That was all the questions. Anything else you want to add before we end this session?
Just saying that please reach out if you have more questions or want to discuss something. And we're here to help, and we'd love to get your input and feedback as well. Yeah, thank you everyone for.
We actually have one more question that just came in now.
Okay, quick question.
So let's take that. What is Steep's response to a badly formatted or broken formatted YAML when it gets committed to main?
We reject the sync. We are doing our best here we are trying to find a very good balance between we sync. We have customers with a few hundred modules. So we have very big repositories, and we don't want to block because due to small things that should be fixed, as the one we saw in our example today. So we try to find this balance. If you have any file that is malformed or has any syntactic problem, we are going to reject the sync from the get-go. We are not going to process it. If everything looks good, but there is some problem that we cannot trust the outcome, maybe the outcome is not repeatable, or maybe it's not foreseeable for some reason, we are going to reject the sync. If there is something, just like this missing identifier that we saw today, that we understand that it's still reliable to continue, we are going to continue because we are trying to find a good balance between being careful, but also doing things and moving your workspace forward. I hope it malformed the YAML files. We are going to reject it. I hope it clarified a little bit.
A follow-up question on that. Is there an alert if it rejects the sync so that developers can get told by the platform?
At the moment, you are going to have a big red sign in your code page. We are exploring some ideas to notify, let's say, through Slack or anything like this, but there is no ETA on that. We are studying what are our best options there to implement whatever generates more value for everyone. But this is not forgotten. We have our eyes on it.
Yeah, we're hearing that a lot. I think that's a great idea, right? Being able to get some nice feedback. So if you have any preferred method of getting notified of warnings or errors, then let us know. All right, everyone. If there's no last questions, then
Just say if you want to go deeper technically, we can schedule some demo in which we go deeper in these things.
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think you also have a Git repo with the example code as well that we can share afterwards. Right, Oscar?
The repo is public, so we have built it together on real time. We can share it in the email where we share the recording. We can share the URL.
Mm. That's great. Yes, and we'll share the recording as well if you want to watch this afterwards. But thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Oscar, for the great walkthrough.
Thank you.
And see you at the next event.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.